Welcome back to the Purple Podcast. This is the actual number 29 episode now. I think last time I said it was 29, but it actually was not. It was 28. So once again, welcome to the real number 29. Happy to have you here. It is a Monday night. We're getting back into our Lately Lowdowns. This is going to be, we're changing things around. I haven't nailed in the precise method of how I want to go about this, but we do have the camera on tonight, so I will say hello to that. Hello. I don't know if it's right on me right now, so we'll mess around with it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll post these to YouTube so we can get some video content out as well. I think it goes with it. It'll be nice to use those on some reels and things like that. So we'll start getting some video up as well. But yeah, anyways, we're hopping into this again. We don't have the precise way we want to go about this down yet. We're doing no sports this time around. Well, I guess that's not entirely true, but there's not going to be like an other sports segment. I'm not sure where I'm going to fit those in yet. I don't really know yet. I'm trying to figure it out. I think I need to be more like content specific and not do as many things just jumping around. I think I need to kind of hammer in on certain things. But we're not there yet. There's so much I do want to talk about. So we'll kind of see. There's options out there. There's things available. Like I said, I'm shooting to get some kind of remote podcasting done here sometime soon as well. So there's things in the works. There's chats occurring, but I'm not 100% sure that anything's going to come through at any point. But we're going to try to do it so we can get some more consistency in terms of, like what we're doing. And I do want to have someone on here consistently as well, just because it's going to be a little more, I don't know. I mean, listening to me myself, I'm sure is not, I just think it's more fun talking with someone. So if we can get that happening, absolutely, I'm going to try to. But hopping in here, getting into the episode here, a little bit of intro. We have our first week of December. We're getting into it now. Just put our Christmas tree up this past week. I don't know if I mentioned that on last episode or not. But yeah, we're getting into the holiday spirits. We have the balsam and fir candles rolling. I'll be honest, I actually have a pumpkin one still burning in my office right now. But that's the way it goes. You got to get those smells out. I'm a big candle person. So, and honestly, I'm a big fall candle person. I definitely really love the Christmas ones as well. But I prefer the fall candles. And then also just any kind of candle from then on out. I guess there's this one candle smell that I've been sticking with for a while outside of like these seasonal candles. Basically, the only season candles I'm going to be doing are something that's like fall related. So you get some like some pumpkins in there, as well as like a maple tobac or caramel macchiato, something like that. Those are some nice fall smells. Getting into Christmas time, you're going to get your balsams and firs. And then there's this other one that kind of smells like some kind of, I don't really even know what to say, but you would smell it, and a lot of different candles have different names for it. But off the candle rant, we also have the Harry Potter marathon on. I think I was actually watching it last week, but we have it on again. Sorcerer's Stone is playing in the background currently. Something I did want to kind of touch on with, the Harry Potter aspect. Me, myself, as a very big Harry Potter fan, read the books for the very first time, well, all the way through last year. I had read up to 3 prior, but then this last year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through them all. And damn, I'm glad I did. It really, I wouldn't say it changed. Well, it definitely changed, but it really enhanced my overall, love for that world. The books are amazing. As good as you might think or have, as good as the movies are, the books just take it 2 notches forward. Like insanity, just makes you feel a lot more for the movies as well. So if you can, if you had time to do it, read those books. I know it's quite a lot of pages, but I promise you can do it. I believe in you guys. Yeah, but moving on to our weekend wrap up here, touching on Friday night was actually Connor Gerhardt's birthday. He's been on the podcast a couple times here. Hopefully we can get him again on sometime soon. But it was his birthday, so happy birthday, Connor. Turned 24. I think it's actually his nephew's birthday as well, so kind of funny how that works out. But for his birthday, we went over to his apartment. Him, Leiter, and another one of our buddies, Hunter, who's been mentioned on this episode or this podcast prior. They're living together now in an apartment, so we went over there, had a few drinks, got some pre-gaming in, and then Connor really likes Stevie Ray's, the blues bar downtown. So we headed that way, and that's an older crowd. I'd say the median age is probably about 50 years old, to be honest. But fun-ass bar, live music, dancing, singing, had sports on as well. It got packed. Like, it was very packed. It's not a huge bar, very like long shotgun style. So we were standing about the whole time, but we were drinking too. So we had a great time. Very good birthday night. I hope Connor enjoyed it. I think he probably drank a little more than he typically does. So I would say he did have a pretty good birthday. Moving on to Saturday, we had an early Saturday morning. So after a decently long night of drinking, we didn't stay out too late, but it was an early Saturday morning. We had that game at 10 Eastern time. So we went out to Joe's Older Than Dirt for the soccer game. And, we didn't win. We didn't play great, which, it really stunk. We knew we were the underdog in this one, but losing 3-1 and honestly not putting up too much of a fight. Like, we dominated possession, but the Netherlands were so much more efficient than us. We had 17 shots, 8 on target, and scored 1 goal, and we're lucky to score that 1 goal. It was a back foot. It was a cross to the back foot, and it just happened to shoot up and fall into the corner of the goal. The Netherlands, it felt like every time they had the ball in like our attacking third, we're just scoring with ease, which that's what I mean. They weren't there all too often, but the thing is when they were banging them home. So they had 6 shots on target. They made 3 of them. They only had 11 shots in total. We beat them 59-41 in terms of possession. Corners, we won 5-4. We couldn't get any great looks on goal. That was kind of the thing with this team, is we didn't have a lot of goal scorers. So overall, it comes down to we get beat 3-1. I'm happy that we at least made it outside of the group stage, but I would have liked the game to be a little closer. Like, that 1 goal made it really interesting for about 5 minutes, and then they scored their third. So it was a 2-1 game at that point. It's like, okay, it was in the 76th minute. So it's like, we have time. We can get another goal, push for extra time and into penalties, but didn't happen. They slammed the door shut literally 5 minutes later. So in the 81st, they score that third goal, and it's completely over at that point, essentially. I'm going to hop into a little bit of a World Cup blurb at this point and coverage just to, knock it out of the way. That's why I say, I did say there was not going to be any sports, but there's going to be a brief little sports segment here. So, yes, U.S. loses 3-1. Netherlands are moving on. Argentina, who we would have faced, they beat Australia 2-1 in their match. So the Netherlands and Argentina will be playing Friday, December 9th at 2 p.m. Just today, Japan lost to Croatia in penalties 3-1. So it was 1-1 going into extra time and then into penalties. Croatia comes out 3-1 on that. Not a good performance in penalties by Japan there. Brazil dominates South Korea 4-1, so that's a scary-ass team. So definitely living up to what they're supposed to be, no doubt there. France beats Poland 3-1, so that was a pretty easy game for them as well. I think Poland scored rather late as well on a Lewandowski penalty, so Mbappe is the best player in the world. We know that. England beat Senegal handedly 3-0. So I didn't say this already, but Croatia, Brazil will be playing Friday, December 9th as well at 10 a.m. England, France are going to be playing at 2 p.m. So we're going to have 2 games. No, that's on Saturday. Saturday at 2 p.m., England and France are going to be playing. So that's going to be a good game. I think Brazil absolutely dominates Croatia. I don't think that's going to be much of a match. Netherlands, Argentina, that's going to be interesting. Argentina on paper should be the better team, but haven't seen a lot of great performances from that Argentina team this year, just so far in the World Cup, at least what I have seen. So I think that one's going to be pretty close, but I think Argentina does win it. Brazil, I bet the house that they're going to win that one. England, France, I think France wins that one pretty easily as well. I think England isn't that great, and France is probably the best team in the world. tomorrow we have the last round of 16. Morocco is going to be playing Spain at 10 a.m. and Portugal will be playing Switzerland at 2 p.m. So we'll see who goes there. Right now, if I'm looking into the tournament and what I want to see, I want to see a Brazil-France World Cup. I think that's going to be that would be absolutely electric. So that's what I'm going to be rooting for. And then in the end, who do we want to actually win? Truly, I don't care. France won last time. I mean, if I'm looking at anyone else here, who would we want to win? Definitely not England. So let's go France, Brazil, World Cup, and we'll pick France to win it again. Go back to back. They can have that, whatever. But moving on from the World Cup, that was an early one, like I said. So we were at Joe's and we had, quite a few drinks for the early morning there. So had a little bit of a midday recovery. I'm surprised I didn't take a nap or fall asleep. We came back to the house, cleaned up a bit actually, and played some cards, me and Dana, my girlfriend. So we stayed up, took a migraine formula, had that caffeine in me. Ended up going to Miracle on Market, meeting some friends out that way. That's, if you know Galaxy Bar, I didn't know this was a thing, but I guess the bar transforms into a Christmas bar around Christmas time. So pretty cool place to go. It's all Christmas themed. There's Christmas things you can buy, Christmas drinks. With that being said, as you can imagine with these places, you're probably going to be spending a little too much on drinks. I probably spent about $14, $15 on like a shot of eggnog, essentially. It was delicious. It tasted great, but add on that I probably waited 30 minutes in line just to even get it, and then paid, far more than what I should have for it. Wasn't too excited about it, but it was a cool little place. We didn't stick around for the later events. I think they had like a DJ. I wonder if it would have been like Christmas themed DJing. Not 100% sure. But we got out of there, headed over to O'Shea's, and actually, we caught a bit of football during the day. We'll talk more about that on our football episode sometime later this week. But went to O'Shea's, and I think we left kind of early, me and Dana. We were just kind of, our asses were kicked, and there wasn't much changing. So I was like, I think we got out of there probably about like 11:30. Had a few drinks that night too, so I don't exactly recall the time in which we left, but it was a little earlier than a typical Saturday night. Sunday, woke up, hopped on to the stream. I don't know if any of you all have been watching, but watched the Call of Duty stream. It's been fun. I've been enjoying that. Doing the camo grind there, but hopped on with that. And then we had Kentucky basketball starting at 1 p.m. playing the Michigan Wolverines. And we were actually in London, England. I think this was a game that was scheduled during COVID and then just ended up never happening. So we win the game, and we won, pretty much our closest game. The first game that was like actually a battle that we didn't lose. Going into the half, we were up 37-36, and then we ended up winning 73-69, beating them 36-33 in the second half. So we won the first and second half, and if you do that, you're going to win the whole game. But the team, well-rounded performance from the team. Oscar scored 13, Toppin scored 14, Severe scored 11, Kaysen scored 14, Antonio Reeves scored 11. So you'd like to see that, some well-roundedness. I wasn't thrilled with, a lot of people's players, but those were the guys that got the most minutes. Those were our starters, and thus, had actually their best performances. Kaysen Wallace, I love to see him actually attacking the basket and trying to score. I know I've talked a bit about that, that we're going to need someone other than Severe, and we saw it, We saw Severe struggle at finishing. They were talking about it all game long. That Michigan was going to, once Severe got in the lane, make him finish. And, I think that's how people are going to play him, because he wasn't finishing. If he can dish it off, that's where he's going to be more effective. And that's why, someone like Kaysen Wallace, I think, is going to be able to perform better driving to the hoop. Kaysen Wallace, 14 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. So really, really well-rounded game from him. Sheway didn't have his best game, had some mistakes himself, but the team got it done, and it's good to see them win in gritty fashion. And that's a pretty decent Michigan team. there's steps to be made, and I think we made a small step with that game. And there's still times where it's like, damn, this team doesn't look great. And I still don't think we're a great team yet, but you see what can become of some of these players. You want to see Antonio Reeves step up. CJ Frederick only got 15 minutes, scored 3 points. So I think our rotation's gonna be pretty small. I think Damian Collins is getting too many minutes. He did get 5 boards, but he had 1 point, so he's just negligible on offense. And it's just tough to have someone who literally can't offer anything offensively. I think Onyenso, for this team to be great, is going to have to take some steps, make a bigger leap, and start becoming a more important person in this rotation. I think Damian Collins' minutes diminish. CJ Frederick, I think he's still going to be like a guard off the bench. They get some play, but I think Antonio Reeves needs to be the guy opposed to him. Chris Livingston didn't do much in his time on the court. Lance Ware only got 2 minutes. So I think the rotation is slimming up. How many times can you have, your guards play 36-plus minutes, though? Like, I think this rotation is small, and that's what it's going to take to win. We're going to have, like I said, I think Onyenso needs to get some more quality minutes because Damian Collins isn't going to give them to us. And CJ Frederick, I don't know what he even – man, I don't know. But we won the game. That's all we got to say. Moving on, we're 6-2, and we're now at 16th in the polls. We'll cover a little more Kentucky basketball a little further in depth. I'm sure I'll get into start doing basketball episodes as well. I don't know, guys. There's a lot of episodes that need to be coming out soon. But like I said, I'm trying to kind of hammer in, make things more content specific for episodes, so it's not just like me jumping on all kinds of different things. Just because, I think that's the better way to market it, to be honest. So we'll see about it. On to gaming. Modern Warfare 2, we have continued playing. When I last spoke, I said that Shoot House was a new map, and as well as Shipment, which, yes, they have came over. Shipment and I haven't played Shipment yet somehow or another, but I have played Shoot House a few times, and I've had a lot of fun on that map. Honestly, looking at all the maps right now, I think I do enjoy just about all of them. Turok is all right in its own way, but it does allow for some camping in the back, and with the sniping play in this game, the snipers have been great in this game, along with the marksman rifles. Those lanes are very long on that map, so you can get. There's some people who don't play objective at all, and I'm not the biggest objective man in the world, but I like to move around the map. These people are camping with snipers and just watching lanes. But I've had a lot of fun with Shoot House. I think it's probably my favorite map already. I'm honestly starting to like the Santa Santa border crossing a bit more. I've had some pretty good games on there. Overall, I think I'm getting better at the game, which thus makes the game more fun. But I think we need more maps. I want some more OG maps. I'm going to keep calling for it. But I've been streaming, like I said. Hop on there. We're getting the camo grind going. Currently have 4 of 51 guns gold. Let's go to the weapons here. I have 3 ARs. I was going to start doing the submachine guns, but it made me basically play with the AUG AR version to get the AUG SMG version. The way things work and unlocking shit in this game is kind of funky, and it kind of forces you to play with every gun, which is nice, but I was going to do it anyways because I'm doing the camo grind. So I have the M4 gold, which is just the M4A1, the TAC 56, which is just your SCAR. I have that gold, as well as the STB 556, which is like the assault rifle version of the AUG. And then we also have the VEL 46, which is just the MP7, and the MX9, which is the AUG submachine gun version. So I have both of those. Actually, no, I don't have both those gold. I just have the VEL. And I'm getting closer with the AUG submachine gun. What about the reels, though? I think those have been fun. I'm going to keep posting those out. I guess I'm kind of turning this, Purple Media Co. into a video gaming kind of centric thing. But that's all right. That's one of my, my loves and passions. So we'll keep growing it any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some YouTube going soon. But we'll see. I've looked into the capture card and everything like that as well. So we'll talk on it. Other than that, in terms of video gaming version, video gaming news, I just downloaded Battlefield 2042 since it was on Xbox Game Pass. So we might try that out, see what it's about. I don't think people really loved it, and I think like me and my friends honestly played a lot of the Battlefield, so I guess this one just didn't get a lot of love and no one bought it, so I haven't played it yet. Battlefield is a ton of fun with your friends, so like that would be a game that I would like to get back into just because it's more like team oriented and it's just a ton of fucking fun, like the scope of the maps and everything like that with your friends. But just haven't been on it much recently. Also, looking into the modded Xbox, I know I discussed that briefly. So for, with NCAA football getting moved back another year, might just buy like a modded Xbox so we can play the revamped version of NCAA football 14. Me and Mike Meredith, I know we wanted to do some content with that, some streaming, YouTubing. But we'll see. It'll be like $200 for the platform. So we'll see. It might be coming. It's on the radar, but not there yet. On to our TV and film segment. White Lotus, started watching that with Dana last night. We got through 2 episodes. Already I'm preferring this one to the past. I think, honestly, probably just the setting has a lot to do with it. It's in Sicily, so we're in Italy, which is just a lot more fun than Hawaii to me. I think the characters are more interesting. We have, everyone's new aside from, the eccentric multimillionaire Tanya McCoy Hunt and her boyfriend or husband, Greg Hunt, who she met in the last season. So I guess this is in the future from the previous time. But overall, there's a lot of like recognizable faces. Michael Imperioli was in Sopranos. Bert DeGrasso, well, that's his name. So basically, we're following 3 different, I guess there's 4 in total. So we have the Spillers and the Sullivans. So those are the 2 friend groups. There's these 2 friends together that just, one is super rich, the new one is newly rich, and they just don't actually really like each other. Aubrey Plaza, who plays Harper Spiller of the newly rich people, isn't a big fan of the other guys. Think they're the douchebags. That typical like capitalist pig is what they're kind of painting him as, or egotistical, materialistic, all that stuff. But it's been interesting so far. I do think it's better. It's in Sicily, a more interesting area. So it starts off with the whole, as last season did, you find out someone died, and there's, in this one that there's going to be more bodies than that. So we'll see. Cameron Sullivan wasn't with Daphne when she saw that body float by. So, that leaves him up for debate. But this is one of those shows that almost like presents you something and is trying to make you think something, only to, have the thing you didn't expect be the end result. So it's kind of weird, the tone of it and everything like that. I'm not going to go into the deep dive of the episodes yet. I might as I watch more. But I don't know. But we're enjoying it. White Lotus, we're 2 episodes in. The first season, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't like the first season very much, but it won a lot of Emmys. This one I think is more enjoyable so far. And looking forward to continuing watching it. So I'll keep you updated with what we're thinking there. On the film, we are into the Christmas season. Sorry about banging my bracelet on the desk there. But we have, I don't even know what we want to call this list, but, must watches, I guess maybe is what we're getting to. But one you have to watch, It's a Wonderful Life. If you've never watched it before, you have to make sure to watch that. Me and my family always watch that the night actually before Christmas. So we still have a while to go before watching that one. But not only is that one of my favorite Christmas movies, that's one of my favorite movies. Just a very, very good movie. Older, but great. We did an episode on it last year, me, my dad, and my cousin Griffin. Actually was probably my favorite episode that I've done of the Purple Podcast. So check that one out if you haven't yet. I might have to listen to it myself sometime soon. But another one I really want to watch that isn't, on your probably typical standard list of like your Home Alones, your Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Night Before, which is I guess that came out in, not the night before Christmas, the night before. This movie came out in 2015. I actually went to see this in theaters with my friends in high school. It's with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, James Franco, Anthony Mackie, and it's just Nathan Fielder's in this as well. If you've seen Nathan For You, but just a comedy movie that isn't on a lot of the lists, and don't think I've watched it since the movie theater, so I'm looking forward to watch this one. Maybe I'll do it soon. I'll have to hit up my friends, see what they're thinking on that. But the night before, that's one to watch, and then which I didn't know, came out on November 17th, A Christmas Story Christmas, which, if you've seen A Christmas Story, Ralphie, he's in it, the actor, as a grown-up Ralphie. So, honestly, it has decent reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm seeing a 78% right now and a 6.9 on IMDb, which I don't think I would have called for that, to be honest, because I think my dad was the one who brought it up to me. I was like, oh, that can't be good. But it's honestly looking like people enjoy it. So I'm going to check it out. Those are three that I'd say, if you don't have an idea of what exactly you want to watch it, you want to see something a little different, or you haven't seen it yet, check out those three. So It's a Wonderful Life, The Night Before, and A Christmas Story Christmas. Maybe we'll get some friends on here for another Christmas movie ranking soon. I know last year we did it with Mike and Madeline. So hey, if you haven't seen that one or listened to that one yet, check that one out as well. Not much music news. I'm honestly probably going to listen to or find an album. I know I discussed that, prior to taking the hiatus. So I'll probably find an album to review this next week. But the music video for Gorgeous Young Romantics, last week when I touched on that, they had 1.4 thousand views in 5 days. So now 10 days in, they have 4.1. So steady growth is continuing going. I don't know if the algorithms just got them going well right now. But yeah, check it out. I'm going to keep promoting it myself. Well done, guys. And looking forward to the album. And that's, maybe we got to get Griffin on here just soon. So maybe we'll start doing some remote podcasts more often. We'll see. Don't want to give any spoilers away yet. But our last segment here, we're going to touch on books shortly. Still reading The Two Towers. Just began it, actually. As I discussed, I just finished Fellowship of the Ring last week. So honestly, I do want to watch Fellowship of the Ring, the movie, and then get into the book. First thing you notice, like the end of the Fellowship of the Ring movie ends with like Boromir and all that. Boromir getting killed. That's actually how the second book starts. So the orc attack hasn't happened yet. Like Sam and Frodo have already left. So just interesting notes, how differences occur within the books and the movies, which is always fun to kind of look at. What do I prefer more? I think it does make a lot of sense to have like the Boromir getting killed scene in the Fellowship of the Ring, which is, probably exactly why the filmmakers chose to do it that way. But yeah, looking forward to the book. I'll keep you updated on that as well. I don't know how much you really care, but you're going to join my book club if you're listening. I'll talk you through a little bit of it, see if there's any kind of differences. I mean, obviously there are a ton. The books are much more like, I don't want to use eccentric again, but they're much more like fantastical. That's a better word, where it's like, a lot of singing and just more like just a lot more mythical and just not like real life. So enjoying the books. I'm going to get through them all. Like I said, I'm going to read the Silmarillion after, and ideally that's going to be, providing me some insight for when the next season of Rings of Power would come out. But other than that, guys, I think that just about does it. We're hit it at 30 minutes, so keeping this one rather short. I'm about to have some homemade Philly cheesesteaks tonight. Shout out Dana for cooking up in the kitchen. You might have heard her throwing some pots and pans around during the episode in the background. The door is shut, but the kitchen is right next to my office. So, hey, if you heard it, whatever. That's all, that just gives you some insight as to what's going on there. But other than that, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the episode. If you made it to the end, once again, I want to send out some love to y'all. I appreciate it. I truly, truly do. everyone that I hear from out on the town, which, does happen a little more often than you might think. People checking in on the podcast. But anyways, I appreciate that, is what I'm getting at there. So keep giving me some love. It feels great. I love some validation. But yeah, guys, enjoy doing it. Thanks for joining me tonight. Have a great rest of your week. I hope this gives you, a little courage and a little bit of enthusiasm to go into the rest of the week. We're going to do it. It's just another, 4 days now, and then we're on to the weekend. And shit, what is it? What's Friday's date? It's going to be the 9th already. So we're getting through December. We're already 5 days in, guys. But yeah, love you all. Thank you for listening. Purple Podcast, the real episode number 29.